I'm going to teach you one of the simplest ways to lay out a periodized program for your athletes, and we're going to start right now. What's up, everybody? It's Dane Miller from GarageStrength.com, and if this is your first time to the channel and you want to become a better athlete, you want to learn how to be an explosive freak, you want to get stronger so that you can dominate on the field, make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you ring that notification bell so that we can help you become a champion. So over the last decade, we've had world championship caliber athletes in 3 different sports. We've developed Olympians, we've developed NCAA All-Americans in 8 different sports. We've developed state champions, all-state athletes to the dozens. And oftentimes, we get these questions. How have we been able to do this? What has been the key behind this? Even to the point of, in 2012, I coached at my first Olympic weightlifting competition, and by 2020, I've had an athlete on every single team except for the Olympic team in the sport of Olympic weightlifting, the senior Pan Am team, the senior world team, the junior Pan Am, junior world team, youth Pan Ams, youth world teams, every single team. We've had somebody from Garage Strength participate on these international teams. And how has that happened? A lot of that comes back to how we lay out our periodization, how we program, how we try to figure out who our athletes are as individuals, and then how we can put them on their journey, solve their issues, solve their problems, and progress them from a long-term perspective. So inside of our system here at Garage Strength, we utilize our own parabolic periodization system. So we have 5 different blocks that we organize our athletes into, and throughout those different blocks, we're going to build them up over a long period of time so they can peak as optimally as possible. And we start off right off the bat with what we call and we refer to as the exposure phase. So if you can think back to our athlete typing video, we take over each athlete, we try to figure out who they are as individuals, who they are as types, and then we start to plug them into these systems of blocks. That first block is the exposure phase, and inside the exposure phase is when we try to get the athlete in shape. We try to get them to start to think from a technical perspective. We start to throw a lot of stuff at them, get their body moving well, start to get them stronger while thinking about technical development as the key behind their long-term improvement. That second key now is that we're going to go into that second block. That second block is what we refer to as the comprehension phase. So inside parabolic periodization, we're going to start as the exposure phase, then we're going to get to that comprehension phase. When we're in the comprehension phase, we're going to really start to develop technical movement. We're going to start to develop technical feeling, technical awareness, and everything during this phase is trying to educate the lifter and the lifter's body on how we want them to move so that they're able to effectively execute the snatch and the clean and jerk as well as possible. That third block, that third phase is the ascension phase, and this is when our athletes are going to start taking that technical development, they're going to start to combine that with the strength gains, and they're going to start to make some serious progress. This is the most important phase that we see our athletes ushered through in our 5-block system. The ascension phase is when strength and technique sort of meet in the middle and start to really develop so that the athlete, the weightlifter, can really start to nourish their body and become better Olympic weightlifters. They really start to feel that increase in their back squat play into how they're moving with the snatch. They start to feel that front squat improve how they're dealing with the dip of the jerk. All of these different aspects that we see in the sport of Olympic weightlifting really start to culminate in the ascension phase, and it's a key component behind how our athletes peak later on. So that fourth phase is going to be the summit phase, and this is when athletes start to really get to the top of how they're feeling from a peak condition perspective. It's when we really start to get close to that mindset and the physical body being combined, and they start to feel every little detail of training pay off. All the technical work, all the strength work really start to pay off, and then that leads into the realization phase. So that realization phase is almost this aha moment, this epiphany moment when you're standing there and you're feeling enlightened as an athlete, where everything is coming as easily as possible. It's coming to the body, to the mind as simply as possible, and the weightlifter is able to execute everything without any distractions whatsoever. And that's one of the most unique parts here within parabolic periodization, is that we set this up almost as a story. You know, you're going to be exposed to some serious training, and then we're going to have to comprehend the journey ahead. We're going to have to comprehend that technical movement. And then as we really start to become educated as an athlete, we lead into that ascension phase, and we start to make that climb. We start to commence on the struggles ahead. And then as we get towards the summit and we work towards that summit, we really start to feel all of the work that we've done start to pay off. And if we can even use that analogy of climbing to the top of that mountain, you get to the peak of the mountain, all of a sudden you're standing at the top of the mountain, and it's this amazing feeling, this realization that the world's best athletes get, that even athletes that have put in tons and tons of work, when they have those great emotional experiences in any sport, they have those moments that they can barely even explain through words, because it's this incredible feeling. And I believe it is a type of spiritual enlightenment where athletes recognize what makes sport so cool is that period inside the realization phase. And so that's how we set up our 5 blocks. We try to lay it out as a journey. We try and figure out who our athletes are, what type of stimuli they need in each specific phase, so that we can help them make serious progress. If you want more information about parabolic periodization, you can head over to GarageStrength.com. We have an entire course that dives very deep into the specific details behind parabolic periodization, and you can pick up our book about parabolic periodization at GarageStrength.com. If you want more information about athlete typing, you can click on this video right here. Until next time, guys, peace.